Hey, my name's Sarah. So today we're doing a ciabatta. So a lot of people love going to the bakery and getting their artisanal breads in their sourdoughs. My favourite's ciabatta, and I haven't actually made it for quite a few years. We've got a beautiful bakery here, so I like to support them as well. But, you know, I'm not going out at the moment. So we're going to make it in our Thermomix, and it's really easy, but there are a couple of little tricks, and it's much easier if you've seen it done before. So hence why I'm doing this little instructional video. So it's under mixed ciabatta rolls, but I'm just going to do a loaf. I like to be able to slice mine and toast it when it's a couple of days old. It's just much easier. So we're going to start off with 270 grams of baker's flour. Now this is the one I use just from the supermarket. It's usually about the $10 mark, so it makes it really cheap actually. So 270, 194, perfect, 270. Now you can't see that, but actually you can today. It's not too bad. The screen will tell me when I've had enough. Now we've got 270 grams of lukewarm water. Whoop. Ooh, that's a little bit much. So what I might do, just pop it a little bit more flour, just to sort of average it out. Now just a pinch of dried yeast, and this is the one I use, just from the supermarket. I got the last one the other day. I was a bit excited because I was just about out. And I'm going to put 2 pinches in just for good measure. Okay, so if you haven't made ciabatta before, you start with a Polish, and that's what gives it its really beautiful rise. So just put the middle. Just going to 30 seconds on a bit of a mix. So this I'll leave overnight to ferment. It gives it that really lovely sour taste and just gives the bread a lot more character. Really doesn't need to knead or anything at this stage. And this is what we'll start our bread with tomorrow. Done. So set aside to ferment at room temperature in a non-porous bowl covered with plastic wrap for 16 hours. So what time is it now? It's 3 o'clock. I'll be able to make this for lunch tomorrow. Because there are a couple of steps, so give yourself some time. This isn't a wham bam thank you ma'am, bread's done. This is we're in lockdown, we've got plenty of time, and we're going to make ciabatta bread. But once you do it the first time, it's really quite easy. You just need to know the tricks. So you set your timer, off you go, do the housework, go to work, whatever you need to do. I'm working in the front room at the moment, and then come back, do the next step. Set your timer, do the next step. So it is easy, it's just there's steps that need to be done at certain times. Okay, so that has it's just a really wet dough. So I'm going to set that aside in a bowl and leave it until tomorrow. So it's called a Polish. So it's, I don't know where that name come from. I have no idea, whoever invented it. So I'll come back to this tomorrow. Okay, so my Polish has been sitting for a little bit longer than probably 24 hours, so a little bit too long, but that's okay. But what I've done is I've just turned my Thermomix on and gone back to that spot. Okay. I just jumped forward a little bit to see if I had to do anything else. Probably should have gone back to the right spot before I started recording. Anyway, such is life. Okay, so we've set it aside, we fermented it. So now we need to add, 300 grams of water. So you're basically just making your normal dough now. Oops, that was a little bit too much. Yep, 309, perfect. Well, almost. Okay. Okay, 20 grams of olive oil. I'll be a bit more careful, it's a bit harder to get out once there's already 2 ingredients in there. Okay, insert measuring jug. Next, I'm going to warm that up for 4 minutes till it makes 37 degrees. So the reason we heat it up to 37 degrees is that is a perfect temperature for bread and yeast and making things grow and make bubbles, because that's what gives your bread the fluffiness. So you don't need to sit here for 4 minutes, so I'll just pause you. Okay, so we're just about finished heating up the water and the olive oil. 1 second. Okay. So we need to add the poolish. So this is what we made yesterday. I just had visions of dropping this, actually, when it was finished. It wasn't pretty. Only things like that happen to me. Okay, so next we pop in 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. 1, 2, 500 grams of baker's flour. 1, 2, 400, nearly 500. Oh, close. That'll do, 496. 2 teaspoons of salt that I've already measured out. Salt gives your bread lots of flavour, so don't miss the salt. Insert jug, insert lid, and we're going to go 5 seconds and speed 6. I just want to check it before I go to the next step, and that's really well mixed, so it's mixed enough anyway. So now we're going to knead it. Now, whenever I knead bread, I always double or triple it. You don't have to, but I think you end up with a nicer product. So I'm just going to change that to 6. Oops. And don't walk away. Always stay near when you are kneading, or whenever you're doing something a little bit rougher. So if this turns into a bit of a ball, it's like a washing machine, it'll want to walk. So if you love your Thermomix, just don't walk away. Just stay close. You'll hear it if it's walking. So again, you probably don't want to watch this for 6 minutes, so I'll put you on pause again. Okay, so I've been kneading for 6 minutes, and I've set up where I'm going to pop my bread. Now this is really important. Make sure it's very heavily floured. And you'll see why soon. Okay. Best way to get dough out is to turn your blades from the bottom, and it will just plop out. Now this is a fairly sticky dough, so scrape out as much as you can. Now I pop it back in here, and we're just going to flick the rest of that dough off the blades. So we'll just go home, there it'll save it. I'm just going to, that's all you need to do. Just take it to speed 10 and just give it a quick whiz, or a turbo. Probably should use the functions I've got, shouldn't I? but that's flicked most of that dough off the bottom of the blades. Still a bit there, but that's okay. I'm not even going to worry about cleaning this. We're having pizza for tea tonight, so I'll make the pizza dough straight away. Because I must admit, I do love homemade pizza. So much more than I do the bought stuff. Okay, back to our thing. It says transfer dough onto a well-floured work surface and cover with a kitchen towel. I'm going to put a bit of flour on top as well before I put the kitchen towel on, or it's going to stick. And then we're going to let it rise and double for 2.5 hours. So it's a long one. I probably should have started quite a lot earlier actually, but I got busy through the day. I'll do another little video later and add them all together. Okay, so we have proven it for an hour and a bit. It says 2.5 hours or when it's doubled in size, but we've definitely doubled in size now. Look how beautiful that is. There's so much air in there. So what we want to do is we want to be really gentle, and we'll put some flour on our fingers. Lots of flour, it's important. We pick up one side and bring it to the middle. We pick up the other side and bring it to the middle without trying to knock air out of it. So we fold it, and then we fold it again. Okay, so we're going to do that 3 more times. So I want that to sit for another half an hour, and it's going to flatten out again. Okay, let's cover that with a tea towel, put it to bed for another half an hour. Okay, so it's been sitting for another half an hour, and I'm going to fold it and fold it again. Again, just gently picking it up, folding it to the middle, and then folding it again to the middle. Make sure your hands are nice and try not to knock all the air out. And we put it to bed for another half an hour. Okay, so we're nearly there. We're up to the very last fold. So just pop some flour on your fingers. And we fold it. And then we try and fold it again and stretch it over. So what I want to do at this stage is try and get it on my rose gold baking tray. This will be interesting. Okay. Not sure how this is going to work, but good luck to me. Oh, and be really, really gently. Oh, that works better than I thought it would. Be really gentle. We're just going to leave that for a bit longer, and then we're going to pop it in the oven for about 40 minutes on 200 degrees. So this is my finished product. I actually cooked it last night, but anyway, it was a bit late. But it was crunchy, and the house smelled amazing all night. Kind of made me hungry just lying in bed. But breakfast it is.